Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Civics. Today, in this episode, I wanted to talk about our two-party system. Now, there's been a big movement in the United States recently to have more diverse political candidate offerings, and from both sides. The Democrats want, or some Democrats want a more progressive choice um, in elections, and then there are also on the Republican side, there are Republicans who want a more middle ground candidate, right, than someone who advocates for Trumpism. So there's just kind of in general this sense that there needs to be more options than just two. And so people are trying to kind of figure out why is it that we only ever really have two major political parties? And really, it breaks down to our system and how it works. And that's kind of why we only end up really having two viable choices when it comes to major elections, like for the president or for senators or House members, stuff like that. So I'm going to explain that to you in this video and talk to you about how that could possibly change. So, why does this happen? Well, in America, we have what I've referred to a couple times as a winner takes all system. So that means, let's say in the presidency, right? If you're going to be running for president and let's say you're conservative, okay? You don't want to have another conservative candidate running because when you win a state's electoral votes, you win all of them. So let's say two conservative candidates run and one liberal candidate runs. Okay? The liberal candidate's going to win the electoral college seats in the ones that he's going to win. But then, because you two are both conservative, those two conservative candidates might split states. So, for instance, one might win Texas, one might win Arizona, one might win a different one, right? And because of that, you're not going to be able to get enough electoral votes to win the presidency. Basically, our system is set up to make it so that you can only really viably have two choices. If you don't, then the one side that has more than one option isn't going to win. And that's true across the board. We have a system set up in our House of Representatives and in Senate where you have to have one option for your views, or else your option isn't going to win. And that's because of the winner take all system. Now, that's the other thing. In America, we run for individual seats. Sorry, my son is playing a video game. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Right? So, individual seats, right? Now, that is an issue because those individual seats are kind of like a winner take all thing. In most other democracies, especially in Europe, that's not how elections are run. There are certain people who go up for certain seats, but, right, the representation that you have in the legislature is not determined by if an individual person beats another individual person. It's determined by the percentage, right, of the overall votes. So for instance, right, in other countries, everybody votes and there's lots of different options. And so let's say one party gets 25% of the vote and another party gets 20% of the vote, whatever. That means in the legislature, they get that percentage representation in the thing, and they have to pick who they're going to have be those representatives. And the other party has this other thing. And then the leader has to be chosen from the one with the highest percentage. So that party that had 25% of the vote, they're gonna have the leader, but they have to work with other groups to get a majority so they can get stuff done in the government. That's why prime ministers, right, oftentimes in other countries have to work with other groups to get things done. And so they have a more diverse and more representative government than we do because they're forced to work together. Now, in America, as long as you win a majority, you can do whatever you want. And so, because of that winner takes all system, you have instances where um, policies are being enacted that 60 to 70% of the country doesn't actually agree with. So, the two party system, not the best. A lot of people in our country seem to think that it's not what we need right now. And I'm inclined to agree. There's always benefits to having a diverse group of voices contributing to governance. Okay. But how can we change that? Well, unfortunately, most of the things that allow this part to happen it's enshrined in our Constitution. So some of it would have to come from amendments to make sure that we could change the system and make it more representative in that way. The other part is that a lot of different local elections are also run this way. It's just the way that we've done things for so long. So not only would you have to change the Constitution to fix these sort of things, but you would also have to change so many local laws. Um, is it impossible? No, absolutely not. But it's just something that, uh, due to precedent and kind of what we do here, it's probably not going to change very soon. So until then, people are going to have to vote between the lesser of two evils. It's just the way our system works. Is it the best system? I wouldn't say it is. Not to say that others are, but that's the way it works. So, sorry. But now you know why, at least. So when you grumble and complain about it, you at least have some sort of factual reasoning behind it. Thank you for listening to this video about the two-party system and why we have it. Next time, we'll talk about some other things, probably starting to move towards state and local government. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.